not in confusion. You take some views, man. Oh, we are live.
Listen, guys, before I get started, so just as a reminder, okay, so Fitzgerald, I want you to look at this real closely,
Old
Fitzgerald.
news, man. I done gave you all the accolades you
No,
want to.
Fitzgerald, no,
I done
Fitzgerald.
gave you all the
We
accolades
still the
they want
national
to give
champions
you.
until
You know.
January. Fitzgerald, we still the national champions until January. I want you to
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
this,
yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Okay, yeah. You still, but I done gave you all the accolades or whatever,
Fitzgerald, I
man.
want you to look at this, Fitzgerald. What's going
I don't
on
need
here?
to
What
look
took
at that,
place on
man.
this
You
day,
know.
Fitzgerald?
I don't need to
Fitzgerald,
look.
what took place
It'll
on
make
this
good
day?
bedlining for the cat or something like that.
Fitzgerald, what took place on this day?
Oh man, we don't need to
This
talk about
past
this.
January. What happened?
You
What
know,
happened, Fitzgerald?
come to September, my birthday month. We're gonna get in college football then, like we always do. Yours included.
Fitzgerald, again, you still haven't answered the question, Fitzgerald.
I
What
don't need to
happened
answer the
here?
question, man. I done gave you all the homage I'm gonna give you, man. You know, you
No,
better
it's not
find
over yet,
something else.
Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, again, what happened on this day this past January, Fitzgerald? What happened? What's
Man,
going
I ain't
on
gonna
here?
say anything. You know, keep your club. You know, you have
Listen,
some
you see
good
Kirby
health.
Smart right there? You see Kirby
Man,
Smart
I'm
running
not
down the
gonna say
sideline?
anything. You know, dude, you want to exhaust the show about waiting for me to give you homage anymore and give you credence? It ain't gonna happen. No.
Do you see Kirby Smart right here?
Yeah.
What's going on right here, Fitzgerald? What happened? What happened? Why is he
You
looking
know,
like
like I
this? Your
said,
receiver.
you got all the reaction you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to congratulate you anymore on that mediocre ass team of yours. I'm not going to say anything about your little thing championship. You know, prove that what you're doing. Just repeat it again. Okay, your body of work, let that shine, man. And once that
This is the
shines,
body of work, Fitzgerald. This is the body of work. Again, Fitzgerald, what is
I
going
said,
on in
let
this
it
photo right
shine, let it shine. Good deal, man. Good deal. Let it
here?
shine.
What's going on in this photo right here, Fitzgerald? What's going
Man,
on?
enjoy it. Go ahead and take another photo of that trophy you won back in 1980. You got two of them now. Big deal. Mediocre dang program. You just recruit well. But let's see what you're able to do with it.
Fitzgerald, you still didn't answer my question, Fitzgerald. Okay, let me ask you
I
this,
already
Fitzgerald.
told you.
Hold on, Fitzgerald. Let me ask you this, Fitzgerald. Who won the national championship last year, and who did they beat for the
Don't
title?
matter, man. That's last year's news, you know.
Fitzgerald,
Last year's news.
who won the national championship last year, and who beat who? What happened, Fitzgerald? What happened? What happened? What happened, Fitzgerald? What happened?
You got anything else to keep saying, man? Got anything else?
Fitzgerald, you got the brand new Fitzgerald. You didn't came out here. You
Hey,
got the brand new
you know what?
Fitzgerald.
I went on this worldwide forum of your search route. I gave you your props several times. You kept grinding my nose in the mud, which I would have did to you too. And I understand that. So, but you know, I gave it to you, man. I admitted what happened. I admitted how you were. Yet you still want to keep boots on the neck, you know. And I'm a fighter, you know. Let's step off.
Oh, my bad. Boots on the neck, yes. Fitzgerald, I just got one question, Fitzgerald. Who won the national championship last year?
These people wait for us to talk about something important, not your little silly little football club that happened to find a bone one day, you know?
Fitzgerald, who's the national champion? Who's the current national champions right now?
Who cares, man?
What do you mean, who cares?
Who cares? Evidently, you're the only one to see to do.
What do you mean, who cares?
Your African suspicions ask you more about Alabama than they do Georgia. That's for dang sure.
Oh, let me show you something. Speak it up. Let me show you
Tell me I'm
something.
lying, okay?
Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Hold on. Let me show you something. Hold on. Yeah, guys, let me show you guys something real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me show this to you real quick, Fitzgerald. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick.
Man, we got a show to do, Dynast, man.
We gonna do the show, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, we gonna do the show. I just gotta remind you of I gotta put you in your place, Fitzgerald.
What place is that, man?
I gotta put you in your place, Fitzgerald. I gotta put you in your place.
What place
put you in your place, Fitzgerald. Hold on, let me show you something, Fitzgerald. Let me show you something. Hold on.
Dynast, you start to sound like a colonizer.
Fitzgerald, you lucky. Fitzgerald, you lucky it's not on my phone.
Man, you better learn how to come correct on that, Joe.
Fitzgerald, you lucky it's not on my phone. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Listen, hit that like button, everyone. Please hit that like button. A couple of announcements, tours. We are still rolling to Sierra Leone. We're still rolling to Sierra Leone November 20th through December 3rd. November 20th through December 3rd. For sure. Hold on. Let me put this comment up real quick for sure. You read that for sure?
He's actually right. Or she's actually right. I mean, can we agree on this, Amir? Can we agree on something?
Texas coming to the SEC, both teams getting smashed.
Yeah, he obviously talked about Texas and who? A&M's already there.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's coming too. Texas and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma already play SEC football, man. Smash mouth in your face football.
Listen, Texas and Oklahoma are going to be down there with Vanderbilt and Missouri.
Okay, is Oklahoma going to SEC East or the SEC West?
It don't matter.
Yeah, it does matter because SEC is a pump conference. You got a whole bunch of dang weak teams over there. Oh, you got Georgia springing forth a little bit.
But here we go. Here we go.
Who does the national championship trophy mostly come out of? SEC West. Who lives in SEC West? You don't need to say it. The shirt says it all. Okay, you got LSU. You got
so what happened last year? If y'all so dominant, what happened last year? What happened,
dude?
What happened?
Hey, everyone has a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. I mean, are you just okay? You won. Okay,
Who's you won? Who's you?
I don't need to say your name, man. We gotta say, hey,
listen.
I take this a poll for the people who've been knowing me for a while on the show. Hey man, you think I ought to drop this mustache and go back to my clean shaven look the way I used to do? Sometimes I ain't feeling it, man. I'm having a struggle.
Look at hey Fitzgerald, this must be your cousin right here, full of excuses. This must be your cousin right here.
Well, the person has a valid point, but I'm not going to. I appreciate you bringing that comment out, final through. But hey, here's the thing: I don't want to give Amir the things that we got any excuses. We flat out lost, so I don't want to play into what happened, what flat tire was blown, or what receivers was out and stuff like that. And, I don't want to give it. We flat out lost. So I'm not going to give Amir a luxury of that.
Lost.
Well, that's mustache, Amir. I need to get rid of it, man. Talk to me.
I mean, if that's gonna help. Listen, that's gonna help Alabama's chances. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I don't want any excuses because we'll beat you guys again next year in the SEC championship. I don't want to hear, man. Listen, man, I have my mustache. I have my mustache.
I'm not even gonna bet you in the game as far as like that. That goes up. But one thing I can assure you, mark this down in the year of our Lord, July 8th, 2022, 1:45, Georgia won't even make it to the national championship game. Get that crazy look off your face. Georgia won't even make it. And I do believe Oklahoma is coming to the SEC East.
Fitzgerald, you haven't been smoking any narcotic lately, have you? You ain't doing any drugs lately, have you, Fitzgerald?
I don't do drugs, you know that.
I know, but I'm just saying because I'm listening to what you're saying, Fitzgerald.
You ain't gonna make it to the championship game. You're not gonna make it back. You really are not now. You're not. You're not gonna make it back to the championship game.
Fitzgerald, you're not. Fitzgerald, listen. We need to come over there and do an intervention.
State before Georgia. Deion before Kirby.
Fitzgerald, listen. We need to come over there and do an intervention. You've been smoking that rock. You've been smoking that crack rock lately. Fitzgerald, just let me know. Fitzgerald, if I need to drive down there and get you some help, you smoking that rock, Fitzgerald, let me know. I'll come down there, Fitzgerald. We love you.
Foulness upon my character name, dang well.
I'm just saying, Fitzgerald, we love you, Fitzgerald. We love you.
Why do you think you're going to get there?
Because we got a good team. We got a great team, Fitzgerald. That's why.
But you got a big big checkbook paying referees. I mean, what you? How do you think
Oh,
you're going to?
so we paying referees now.
See,
We paying referees now.
See what
We
you
paying
get ready to
referees
see.
now.
See, the pressure is on you, and I admit that. You're going to realize just how superior Alabama is to keep going and going and going, let alone winning and stuff like that. You ain't even going to get back to the big dance this year.
Fitzgerald, again, listen, if I got to come down there, intervene, I don't know if you've been smoking that crack rock, smoking that, hitting that pipe, Fitzgerald, I'll come down. I love you, Fitzgerald. I love you. Like, you my brother. I love you, Fitzgerald. I'll come down there and intervene. You don't need to be hitting that pipe, Fitzgerald. Like, stop it. Fitzgerald, stop it. I need to call your brothers. Do I need to call them and let them know that I'm worried about Fitzgerald. He been smoking that pipe. He been smoking that pipe. I need to call your brothers.
Hold on. I see a comment, but evidently somebody who is smoking the pipe. West Africa, 1988. Alabama is done. You got jokes.
He's right. He's right.
Whoever this cat is, they got jokes. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I took the bait. You would just get a reaction. Man, I failed. I broke it. I'm just sorry. No. Eli Manning over to Arch Manning over to Texas. What do you think?
They still gonna be sorry when they come to the SEC.
Dude, we got the current Heisman Trophy winning quarterback with Alabama. We ain't worried about him.
Yeah, they ain't doing nothing. We ain't worried.
We worried about him.
We ain't worried about him.
No.
For sure, we ain't worried about him.
All right. Okay. I guess it's about time for that rival of ours to start up, man. That's one of the few things, ladies and gentlemen, that Amir and I disagree with about our schools, because his is a little Johnny come lately stuff and
Johnny come lately. Johnny come lately. Okay.
No.
Hey guys, before we get started, listen, visit ilaamir.com, ilaamir.com. Everyone's always asking Dynas, where do you get your gear from? Where do you get your gear from? Visit ilaamir.com, ILEAMIR.com, and grab your gear. Also, we have the tours coming up, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. Go to Danfo, Danfo, Africa, everyone. I really appreciate you all for the support. And do me a favor, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Without further ado, we have my brother on. Listen, guys, listen. We all make mistakes in life. Unfortunately, I still love my brother, but unfortunately,
and I love you back.
He just had to go to University of Alabama. I don't know why. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't understand why his parents didn't intervene and tell him, like, listen, son, that's not a real school.
My parents were supporters of great quality education. Hey, listen, Mr. B.W. Sampson says, Nephew Dynas, let's start the program and forget about this football issue. Mr. Sampson, I was saying the same thing. Both of y'all need to stop, because I graduated from Savannah State and Alabama and A&M. My brother or my sister, I have people up at Alabama and A&M, the Lightners, a lot of them went there, Alabama and A&M and Alabama State, which is incident in my home state. But and so if you know anything about that area, then college Alabama football is largely live down there. And so out of respect to you, I'm just going to drop this subject on the condition that Amir leaves me alone. See? Okay. No, see, I'm in Sampson. See how hard it is for him? See? So it ain't me. So it ain't y'all. It's Amir. Don't worry. You don't have to give an apology publicly. You can call me private and give it.
All right, you guys. So, we've been discussing unaccountability in our community from America to Africa. We want to blame everybody else for their, when it comes to our issues, for some reason, we're not the problem. It's everybody else that's causing the problem within our community. So I wanted to bring in our brother. Okay, Fitzgerald Stevens.
See, it's a struggle.
I want to bring him on, and we're going to have the discussion today. Listen, we'll open up the lines in about 20 minutes. and you'll be more than welcome to call in. And then before the show's over, we're gonna jump back on and roast Brother Fitzgerald before the show's over. But Brother Fitzgerald Stevens, go ahead and take it away. In that, I got some toilet paper that looks like that shirt. In fact, we use shirts like that for toilet paper.
Man, talk about your shirt like that. It looks kind of good to me.
All right, go ahead, Brother Fitzgerald Stevens. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing fantastic, great. Hey, thanks for joining by. And I'd like to thank you guys who have been subscribed to my channel, Find Ways to Win Fitzgerald Stevens. I know that because it's growing, and I certainly appreciate that. So I'm doing more content now, and just hit a couple of milestones, and I'm just going to keep the pedal to the grind right now. One of the crux of my life, and definitely I make it a point to put it over the airways, I believe in personal responsibility. And so if with the statement Dynast made, is it everyone else's fault, or I assume he's talking about the black community. I don't know if it's specific to the African American community or us Negroes over here. I don't know who is primarily talking about, or the black people on a global point. I want to stick the topic with the group I know, the American Negro over here. And yes, it's 100% of our responsibility with the plights we're in. The personal responsibility has seen to go off the roof. This blame game is not your fault. That doesn't serve anything. That just gives an excuse to debauchery and degradation and wrong choices and immoral living and all kinds of things. Like for example, black fathers ain't really in the homes, or black fathers don't take care of their children, and which is a lie. Statistically, we're much more apt to take care of our children, but black fathers make the mistakes of having children with mothers who are not their wives. And I do mean mistakes, because after you get off of that, you can be put on a child support system. Your life could be turned down. I read this story. I read this story. No, not read a story, Dynast. I seen a story yesterday, and they was talking about how this black mother that she wasn't married to the father of her children, and she went down to get some help. They needed some help. You know what they wanted her to do? They told her that they would not help her, they would not help her, not that she put that black man on child support. She's like, why? I mean, he takes care of his children. We don't have a problem like that. He just goes, we have an agreement. He takes very good care of his children. We just need help. Yeah, we'll give it to you, provided you put him on child support. Now, what does child support do? It's done to reduce your quality of living to nothingness. It further separate the family. Do the child need to be supported? Yeah, but once again, if we're bringing up our families in the atmosphere of marriage, which is the best place to raise a child, if you elect to bring one into earth, a lot of this stuff can be avoided. That's a little spin off of the 1960s Dixiecrats, who them as Democrats right now. And those guys, they passed, when Lyndon Baines Johnson passed that Welfare Act. Oh, sure, we'll help you, but the male has to be out of the home. Funny, the other races don't seem to be scrutinized as much as black people, because that was designed to divide the families, among other things. And we want to bring some of us, speaking about us in this country, some of us want to blame other people for getting caught up in that system. Did they make the choice for you? Did they put a gun in your head and say, man, you want to have sex with this woman right here, right now? And you better not pull out. Did they do that? Do they make the choices of how with our neighborhoods, especially inner city, how they ran down and said, well, the drug dealers were there. Well, Do we make it environment for drug dealers to be there like this? Don't snitch and don't tell, even if they're destroying and poison our community. Well, the gangs in there. Do you make an environment the police your own? Do you make it a point to police your own environment and get concealed weapons permit if you have to in order to protect the children, elderly, everything like that? See, a lot of these choices, all the choices are your responsibility. We hear this other title. This is interesting. And Dynast, man, I was so thinking about you this morning. Doing a show about it, you get certain points over better than me. You just have a gift for that. You get it across much more. And here's what I want to see. When you think of baby mamas, but audience, when you hear the word baby mama or baby daddies, who you think about? Put it in the chat where we can really see. When you hear that word baby daddy, who do you think about? And I ain't seen anything. Male, female, what do you think? When you think about baby mama, who do you think about? Baby daddy, I'm sorry. Let's break it down a little bit more stringent. What class and race of men do you think about when you hear that term?
Black man. Come
on, somebody type. Yeah, yes, Miss Ivy Dreams, we have honor. Yeah, we do. Okay, someone put in here Trump, Mr. Haynes. Hey, listen. Let me answer the question. Oh, okay, here it goes. Thank you for your honesty. Black man. Pookie and Ray Ray. Is this the white Asian Pookie and Ray Ray? Which one is it? Because they got them there too. Okay, but Black. Let me give you a name for that you may not associate that term. You say black man. How about Elon Musk? How about that name?
He has what, 6 kids, 7 kids?
About 10 by 3 different women. That's his business. That's his business. He papered up, and that's his business. But why doesn't him and I'm not even going to put President Trump in there because he's married to all the women he has. I'm not going to put him in there. But baby mama, baby daddy, as opposed a person who creates the life without marriage and commitment to the mother, does not a commitment to the family. Why is Elon Musk's name not in there?
Fitzgerald, so Elon just had a baby with one of his employees.
Twins.
I know where. So,
with a chick that worked for one of his companies.
Right.
That's his business. That's his business. But I'm saying to tie that title to someone who is obviously doing the same thing that many of us get scrutinized. Well, I don't deal with that issue. But why is it? You see how crazy it is. You see how all these labels can be dependent upon, not dependent, can be accepted by us, because we have such a low tolerance of our own image. Try saying that to one of Asanaki Jewish brothers about being that. Try using disparaging language to them, or try using that disparaging language against our Islamic brothers to see how far that gets you. But we tolerate it. It's a joke. It's a thing. So no, Dynast, we're 100% the reason and the cause of why we are. What's up, Fitzgerald? Black man don't got planes to fly drug in. He don't got planes to fly drugs in Chicago. He don't got planes, and he can't ship all them guns that's being used all over the country on black crimes. He don't have the razor. Oh, okay. I heard police go over there and they sometimes brought weapons and they left them in the car, just left the trunk open. Okay. Someone feeding you poison. You compelled to go out and eat it. You just can't make choices like, nah, I don't want this. Nah, go ahead and call Popo and get this stuff out. Now, this guy's a killer to our community and stuff like that. This guy, this man right here is ignoring his children and stuff. He should be ostracized. Nah, church, no. Let's quit playing to your matriarchal presence. Men are needed in the home. So you're trying to play up the preying on single women. Quit doing that. Let men be on the home. As a matter of fact, Pastor, your rate does not outrate the man of that house. Get that out your head. But no, these type of thuggish behaviors are celebrated. They're applauded. We have such a label. Hey, I'm no snitch. You ain't a snitch with drug deals running things out of your complex, Nino Brown style. You don't see the poison. You don't see the death. You don't see what's going on. You don't see. You're not a snitch to let just a few vagabond kids take over entire school and threaten teachers and make the good students not want to be there or punish them and bully them for learning. And you don't stand up, elders. You don't stand up and speak on these things because you're afraid. Or better yet, you don't want to just move out. I mean, it's always our fault. So we are always responsible for our decision. Man, you saying I can't get along with this mom and we couldn't jail. Okay, I understand that for it. Couldn't that decision be made before you put a baby in it? Couldn't that decision be made before you decide to abuse her or physically attack a woman you decide to physically man? Or you decide to make a scene by twerking upside down and calling yourself a political leader? That senator up there in Rhode Island? Black.
I gotta play that.
Someone making you do this stuff? You see?
Fitzgerald. I haven't seen that video yet.
Man, don't watch it, man. Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
We don't watch it.
You think you looking and you would think you looking at a Facebook skit. You really do. You think you're looking at a TikTok stick, man, skit. You really do. But enough of this, ladies and gentlemen. We can't say the collective. Let's be responsible for our own choices. Let's be responsible. Let's forget about the day. You need to make choices that move your life forward. Nothing is going to be given to you. Nothing is going to be given to you. And if you're a so-called disadvantaged minority, which there's no such thing, Fitzgerald, the elder done lost his mind. He talking, maybe he is smoking something like Diane said. See, that's why you got to apologize to me, Diane. See, maybe he is into something like Diane said. No. You tell me how you're disadvantaged in the greatest point of living in the greatest country on earth right now, with more opportunity than anything, where two guys can sit up there and create networks and create channels that can make in a month what they didn't make in a year from home. Or you can come out there with an ideal and put a patent and put a trademark on it and become a millionaire, where you could create a clothing line with no distribution centers except the World Wide Web. Maybe you're partnering with Amazon or Walmart and stuff like that. Become a millionaire, where you can learn about any subject you want to learn on at the tip of your fingers. Didas did a show, and man, I support the man financially. I'm happy to say it because it's great content. He's my friend. He's talking about the Domine, I believe, and he was talking about this Brazilian cat. And this king over there was running slaves to such a point. There's a movie coming out like that. And I had heard that Africans helped capture other Africans and put it in slavery, particularly on that western coast on there. But Diana said, it was something in my mind I didn't want to believe it. It was something in my mind. Now they can't do that. But so we get ignorant about our histories and ignorant about how savage and brutal we can actually be to one another. Right. And you see this cycle, the colonizers, the conquerors tactics. They first go in there to destroy the family. Okay, they destroy it because the family is the heartbeat of society. Second of all, then they get in there and they destroy the culture, replace that culture with something that's going to be degradation to you. Okay, and then third of all, they start extracting resources, using the very things, using your wealth against you. Just like France has a beautiful point of doing that. You know, I'm not. That's one thing I'm not interested in dealing with them at all. You know,
Listen,
and, you know,
let me
because
interject
I
real quick.
did, but when is it
I'm
going to come
sorry.
a time, Amir? When is it going to come a time when we really get just as strong about not making excuses, finding ways to win, being responsible for our life, getting the death and poisonous out of our society, shaming those the way Sip Police said, and the way Brandon would say, you know, with their deliveries that's much better on this subject. Brandon wouldn't be talking nice, and I assure you, Sip Police wouldn't be talking nice as I am. When are we gonna shame this stuff? You know, when are we gonna what is the FBA?
FBA means Foundational Black American, meaning your roots are from here in America.
No, no. What they want to say roots. Now roots is the beginning. My beginning is from the continent over there. I just don't happen to know exactly what tribe. That was stolen from us. We were forbidden to use that. That was so lost us. But you know, I mean, man, look at my color, dude. Obviously, I don't come from the Caucasus Mountains. You know, so but that's not answering your question. I identify as an American Negro. That's why I did. American Negro, descendant of slavery, American Negro. That's why I identify as. No, I don't really know about a lot of titles and stuff, but I do know there needs to rise up a new form of black man who is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, who is not afraid to leave his family, who is not afraid to say those magic words, "I got this." You know, to those under his care, who needs to be setting an example out there that people can emulate, who needs to be strong and bold, who needs to get carrying concealed permits and weapons, who needs to understand entrepreneurship and teaching his offspring and his household how to do that. Who needs to get a connection exactly where he came from. Who needs to develop a connection, especially with the African continent. Just at least have his foot on the soil one day to get that feeling connection where he's from. And who needs to be strong and bold in these times, because these times call for strong, bold, brave men. Now, in women, you're not exonerated. You need to be most of the thing. You need to be careful about falling in line with clearly societal norms that is not part of our culture. Where our family was never one divided. You know, it was torn apart. Our family didn't believe in killing their young. You know, we didn't believe in setting our old people aside in nursing home and let them rot away and disdaining the wisdom that they had. We believed as a community. We did have a village, you know, to raise a child. There was a time that, you know, that the elders looked out for each other's children, and they were allowed to correct each other's children without getting ready to get into a fist fight for doing so, especially if it was something right. There was a time that they were respected. There was a time that a father was respected, not made to look like a buffoon. He wasn't always cowering to his wife and asking, "What do you want?" and a happy wife, happy life, and all that kind of crap. There was a time that men were men. Yeah, it is, because we don't hear the word happy spouse, happy life, do we? No, we don't hear that. No, there was a time that families that you didn't go and sick the government on your man as an effort to punish him. You know, as an effort to make an example, as an effort to split to get involved in if he had chose someone over you, you didn't get to you guys handle stuff. There was a time when the father walked in the room, the children were silent. There was a time when dad, you know, he didn't even have to beat. All he just had to do is speak, and everything was coming to order. That's another show I'm going to do. Dynast called the voice of a man. I'll probably do that tonight. There was a time when a man looked at his wife, or some other dude was coming out of the park and looking at his wrong. He would take his head off. You know, there was no girl nights out. There was family days, and families got together with families. There was a time of that. There was a time, that being a man meant something, especially in this family, in our family. Somehow along the '60s, that got wholesale, willfully destroyed. Slavery, we didn't have a choice. You allowed the Democratic bill to come in, welfare over your husband, over your man, integration. You go over there to Woolworth, someone who didn't want you because you thought their lunch, all of a sudden their lunch and their clothes was more better than yours that you was making, and you was the food that you were eating. So you wanted to go there and be included with someone who didn't want you, and step continually on the trajectory path to build your own. You hold men to an impossible standard, especially if they're not blessed to have the will and the strength to be an entrepreneur, and they go out there and try to compete in this society that's clearly against them. Look at your jail cells, look at your morgues, and who's discriminating against them. And because they can't keep up because the executive positions aren't given to us in a wholesale manner, no matter how much black education we have and how much college education you're talking to college grads right now. We don't just wear these t-shirts. We actually graduate from these schools. But yet we feel that we have a better chance starting something of our own to getting out there competing in that system. No, I mean, and these are real issues. Oh, ladies, you're not exempt. You're being put in jail more at a higher rate right now by the same government that you so depend on. More female incarcerations right now in our histories in this nation. No, losing more of our black women on the operating tables. More miscarriages. More deaths to giving birth. More, for every Kajanji, for every successful black leader, you see a black leader female out there. There are tens of thousands of other people who don't got nearly those opportunities. Notice why those successful so-called successful black females, they seem to vote the same government agenda that destroys their husband and their sons. But yet that's cool because you got yours back, woman, boss chick. You in power. Meanwhile, the family destroys. And so yes, Dynast, we are 100% responsible. We are 100% responsible for the collapse of our communities, the collapse of our family, the collapse of our economic wealth, the collapse of our business growth. Back around what was it? Back 2004 when I bought my house. 2004, I bought my house in McDonough, Georgia. 3,000 square feet, acre of land. I love that place. And I bought that during the President George Bush administration, the second Bush. I was, making great money. Was able to take care of everything, and everything was great. And home ownership for black people really started to make an impact back then. But what happened? A lot of these toxic loans were given out, balloon payment, all kinds of foolish. This is a wildcat. You didn't have to have jobs back then to get one. I had a fixed mortgage rate of 6% that I could easily pay for myself. My wife and I were good, and my two stepkids, we were good. It's making money, it's increasing. You had a chance to get around there. All of a sudden, I bought a business. The market changed back in 2008 and lost everything. Okay, and eventually the wife too. But I told her, and I said to her, I said, hey, I can get everything back again. I can rebuild this. This house is not me. It's not you. I can build this. I can rebuild it. I ain't feeling, we can't, I'm pressured. So I walk alone. I'm going to get everything back in its phase. But but you sit around there, man, that lose my family because of economics. You know what that does to a guy? when he don't feel like he has someone to stick with him. Or you know what that does to a good woman when she don't feel like a man that can stick with her? I can build all that again, and I will in greater proportion. I'm currently on my way right now. But that was my fault. I'm not going to blame the market. I'm not going to blame the fact that a banking company that starts with initials WH and has a little buggy carriage on there kept losing my paperwork, still telling me not to pay the mortgage. That was my fault for following stupid advice. That was my fault for not getting out there and doing and finding a job or creating a job back then. That was my fault. All that collapse and all that upheaval on my family was on me. Why was it on me? I was the head. I was the leader of that family. I didn't hold it. I didn't do my end. But you tried, Fitzgerald. Trying doesn't cut it. Either you do or you don't. That's what the world measures you of. Either you get the results or you don't. I didn't get results for it, and I paid a hell of a price. Would I like for it to have been different? Would I like for it to stay? Would I like to have my marriage attacked? Sure, but that wasn't my decision. But the things that happened in that house, I, as a man, was responsible. My family split because I didn't do my end.
Fitzgerald, can I read a comment real quick?
You sure can.
Okay, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you have not hit the like button, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Sir, this is all by design to make FBA ADOS to fail. We are worth more to the white man and immigrants in jail. What are your thoughts on that comment?
He is absolutely right. The listener is absolutely right. But it is my choice not to take that bait. Pitfalls are set, traps are set. You know, they're getting more sophisticated as they go on. But it's my choice to be able to recognize that and to stay away from that. No, so we went the long way of answering this question. Maybe a little bit. You guys know sometimes I like to explain things, clarify my position on that. But yeah, we're always responsible for our choices. So if we get the outcome, that's on us. You know, the police with these laws, or these judges with these laws that target our people like that, we can simply say we're not paying your game. We're not taking a thing like that. Get video cameras in your car. Walk in groups where you feel safer. Have accountability. Have your cell phones out, and necessary have the legal use of a firearm. You have every right to defend yourself. Do what you need to do instead of being picked off one by one. But these are always your choice. You can't change the neighborhood. Great, move out of it. Go to the country where I'm from. It's not bad living. Maybe a little boring, but it's not. But you're safe. The biggest thing we're doing down there is probably shooting pumpkins with watermelons with 22s or 45s. It's about the biggest thing we do down there. But we don't have a lot of stuff to get in. We just don't have a lot of those options and stuff. And so get out of environments that don't serve you. Hey, Diane, let's hear from some other people, man.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. Click on the link, and you're more than welcome to call in. Also, do me a favor, hit the like button. Again, please hit the like button, help tweak that algorithm. And everybody who super chatted, thank you so much for the super chats. But please click on the link, and also make sure you subscribe to Fitzgerald's page, channel, Find Ways to Win. Again, Find Ways to Win. Make sure you subscribe to Fitzgerald's station channel, Find Ways to Win.
Hey, Diane, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Drew Branch, and it sounds like it's criticism, but I don't take it at all. He said nothing wrong with expounding, brother, as long as it's well thought out, untainted. You're right. My views are tainted through my experiences, and some of my experiences maybe necessarily.
What is that?
No, because when people say this, when people
untainted. I don't understand what untainted.
Well, I understand exactly. I understand
experience.
exactly what you're saying. I understand, but so what I'm saying to you, Mr. Branch, Mr. Drew Branch, thank you for that. Next time next time when I in the future rather, what I will consider when I come on to speak about a subject like that, maybe I have more statistics and more things, more facts to back it up. But that's not my style. But I will consider doing that. I'm more myself when I'm free flowing because I'm pulling from my life experiences. Keep in mind, I've been on this earth almost six decades, and I've learned a couple things. So that's how I run my channel. When I come on, that's why I like, probably Search for Uru is the only channel I appear on outside of mine. Because, not only we have gone 17 years of friendship, but I can be myself. I don't have to have an agenda. I can freestyle, and me freestyle, I'm at my most powerful. And 90% of my facts and my passion is 100%. 90% of my facts is dead on. You can't absolve that. But if some of you guys would like me to get bullet points, okay, plans like first the black man needs to take responsibility. Second, the black man and black woman need to stick together. Thirdly, the black man need to gather those children up. Fourthly, the black man need to get the economic clout where he can start building a legacy and going forward. Fifthly, the black man need to start cultivating a network with other like-minded black people. Sixth, the black man need to start cultivating global black networks. Seventh, the black man need to start opening up businesses in his own neighborhood. Finally, the black man needs to open up their own banking and financial institutions and start police in their own state. Deputize people who look like them, who understand the community, have their own enclosed community, and that's what they need to do. If you're referring to something like that, I agree with you. Please continue, Mr. Mir. Can't hear you.
Shout out to Timbo Slice. Thank you for the super chat. The only solution is to build up Africa, then we will get results in the world.
Who was that?
Timbo Slice.
Hey, Mr. Slice, Fitzgerald Stephen, thank you for the comment. Hey, please go ahead and hit the link with Prince Amir, and the come online is found upon that comment. Now, please do that. I mean, I think a lot of people share that comment. Some people partially share it because they don't fully understand it. But please come on. Please come on and talk to us about that. I will be one of the people who partially understand it because I don't know anything about Africa. I've never been there. I haven't been exposed to one of the 54 countries or the cultures. I love Africa. I mean, I have affinity there for something that my soul tells me I need to touch ground, but I don't understand it. I mean, I don't understand. I don't want to be insulting. I wouldn't know where to go. I'm drawn to Cote d'Ivoire. I'm drawn to Ethiopia, but I wouldn't know what to do there. I wouldn't know the proper customs, although I can learn them. So not knowing, I wouldn't want to go there, feeling ignorant, but I don't know what I'm missing because this is all I've ever known. And yes, it's my fault that I haven't traveled, but some of us, we already have our minds made up by what the media is doing and has shaped us. They had years and decades to work on us before Prince Amir started his channel, or Tunaja started his channel, or Pan-Africanism is a brand that started his channel. They had many decades to work on us, and I'm from that generation back there when you used to have 3 channels, and they would go off at 12 o'clock at night: ABC, CBN, ABC, NBC, and CBS. We used to put foil on the antennas to get them in. And so we just had magazines, and we had National Geographic magazine, and how they would give such a negative viewpoint about it. So I don't know what I'm missing. And so I would like you to come on there and really speak to the people like myself, even though I have dynast and I live Africa, I'm sad to say through his eyes, and I know I can't keep doing that. No, so I really, the like to say what I'm missing. I see a lot of tribal warfare over there. I heard that story that Prince Amir said about the Domine, but and the king and partnering with the Brazilian cat. It was sick to me. It was truly sick to me.
True
I mean,
story.
and it's no way I should have been ignorant of that. Simply, especially when I got about 4 computers in this house with Google on there, but I didn't know them because in my heart of hearts, it's kind of tough for me to get around it. Black people would do that to other black people. That was my naivety.
How far is your hometown in Alabama from Mobile?
I can get to Mobile from where I am in Alabama. It's about a little under 200, a little over 200 miles. Okay. I'm in the southeast corner, which is like right over here. Okay, Mobile is down there, so I have to drive across down there, right on the Gulf.
Okay.
So, hey, I appreciate. So, Mr. Branch, thank you for making that comment. Mr. Jughead, it's been a while, man. How are you doing?
My brother, Fitzgerald Stevens, welcome, brother. Welcome, Dynast.
Hey, man, I think you already solved the riddle right now. I'm going to shave my mustache because you look clean shaven. I like that look. I'm going to go back to who I used to be, low haircut and everything else like that. I'm trying to keep up with Amir, but obviously Amir's grows much better. Man, it's taking me about a year to get this.
But you look fine, man. You look crisp. You look fresh. Don't worry about it, man. You look fresh.
I need to put some black seed oil in it.
No, I'm at work. It's my attire, so I can't check at work.
How's your family doing?
Sorry, brother?
How's your family doing?
Family's fine, thank you. Family's fine. I'm fine, healthy. Keep that lemon juice, that fresh air. It's got over in England, UK, for a change. We got good summer.
Yeah. Well, praise God for that, man. Let's hear what you have to say. I love listening to your viewpoints.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm going to slow down. If I talk for, I'm going to slow down because I'm a UK time. Yeah. The topic of Dynast's great show, lack of accountability. I'm afraid he's correct because as black people, we're too individualistic. Over the last 3-4 decades, we've changed. When I was growing up, I'm 55 years old, and I was born in the 70s. We were different. We had a community. We were organized. The last few decades, we've changed, man, for the worse. So it's like when we should unite as one, we don't be accountable to each other. That's a problem, Dynast. We don't want to go and work for a white man on Monday morning, or be accountable to a white supervisor. But being accountable to each other, that's a problem. That's why we make slow progress because our enemies are organized. That's why they're effective. When they're organized. Well, generally, that's the problem, you see. We don't want to be accountable to each other. So that's the topic, Dynast, is correct. Yes, it's lack of accountability. That's what's damaging. That toxic individualism. That as well. Those two things,
I agree. How are you guys adjusting with your boy Boris leaving?
Boris, man, the clown, that idiot. Look, the guys. Nothing will change. It's corrupt from the core. Politics in the UK is corrupt from the core. So, the successor. I've watched it. I love politics, by the way. Whether it's internal or global, Africa, UK, doesn't matter. Honestly, I know what's going on. Now, regardless of his successor, we have no idea. The cabinets, they're all a joke, But what I'm more worried about as Africans, our people. By the way, I'm born here in the UK. My parents are from Nigeria. I'm behind enemy lines. I noticed Africa and the global black family, especially black Americans. I've said before, Dan, on your broker, I'll keep saying it again. I don't care, I don't like it. African Americans are the best blacks on the planet for the last 200 years. No one's contributed most of black progress to you people. As a fact, over the last 200 years, that's a fact. So I rock with you guys. You guys have done most to bring a race forward. Here in the UK, we've been at almost 8 decades, got nothing built. Back to UK, generally on embarrassment. I'm telling the truth. If you come to UK, you say a couple of black hairdressers, black barbershop. That's it. Low key businesses. We've been at almost 8 decades. The East Europeans have been in the 1990s. They've already surpassed us. They've got banks, enter businesses. We've been at almost 8 decades. Black people in the UK. We've got nothing done. Individually, we've done more individually, but collectively, we've not made no progress. I think we've gone backwards. That's why I look at you guys. I'm a member of the BAIO because black Americans, I'm with you guys, Bamanish, December, because you guys are moving forward. I love why you done to go to Nigeria, you know, and you're from Delta. That's where my family from, Delta. Warri. That's where my mum's town's. That's my mum's town. But that's how I was at Guinea. I've been there 5 times. And yeah, I'm gonna go this year when after the, you know, when it calms down a bit, the travel restrictions. But yeah, I mean, but you know, Africa. I mean, you know, Brother Taslas's comment about Africa being, as you call it, but I think what he meant was this about Africa in the future, because nation building is the key. Obviously, nation building, that's the key. You know, our leaders in Africa, they're focused on not industrialization. They're traders because Africa's not industrialized, and that's because of the misleaders. They're cowards and misleadership. Yeah, where are black Qatars? Where are black Singapores? Our black Japans? Our black South Koreas? They're not being built because that's because of misleadership. They're squandering the billions buying big apartments in London or Dubai, £30 million apartments which they're never going. Where there are no roads. You know, it's embarrassing. But I believe it will change because with forums like yours, Dynas, we're coming together now. I mean, back in the day where we didn't have these forums. If you look, we get from America, you had to use email or pen pal. Now I'm talking to you now. My brothers, you know, in real life time. So this will make the connections.
I agree.
You know. So yeah, I mean, I'm I've got to pay for those super chats, man. So let me see super sticker now, man, because I'll catch you when I can. Because you guys did a good job. But that's when you go to Nigeria again, Dynas?
Next month. I'll leave a month from today. I'll leave August 8th.
Which part are you going to, Mask?
I'm going to Oshun. I'll be in Oshun and Lagos.
Okay, Oshun, yeah. But you can be in Nigeria more times than me.
yeah. I'll be in I'm headed next month.
I'm telling you, I've only been there 5 times.
Oh man, yeah. I've been more than you.
I'm telling you, man, you know. But West Africa, I mean, it's a lovely vibe. I mean, you know, for Benin, West Togo, Ghana, you know, the foliage. I mean, I love the terrain because you got the jungles there. I love the bush, you know. Whereas East Africa, you know, Africa is still different. Where we got the desert parts of the north, we got the savannas of the east. It's all different.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You know, Virgin flies in British Airways. They fly direct. Well, British Airways, are they still on strike?
No, it's not on strike. What, Dallas? Because of all there's a lot of delays. They're not on strike yet. They were striking last month. They're not on strike now. It's the delays because the lack of staff. Whether it's people ill, I don't know what it is for the Jazz, but there's lack of staff. So that's why a lot of delays. They're not strikes as yet, but there was a rail strike that was in last 2 weeks ago here. The rail strikes. That's what they don't the trains.
You know, Virgin just opened up a line down here to Tampa. You know, Tampa Airport.
You said Virgin?
Mm-hmm. Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin flies direct from Heathrow to Murtala Muhammad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The airport, man. When I first went to Nigeria, not if I buried my father, because I didn't bury him here in Babylon. I buried him back home with respect. I said Abacha was the government. Abacha was that's our president at the time. It was rough, man. Remember the first Star Wars film? Remember the first Star Wars film? When Luke Skywalker was at that rough tavern? That was the airport, man. It was like that times 10, man. It was rough. Oh, wow. This is, it's got better now, but at the time, on the Abacha, Nigeria was rough, man. It was hard, man. But it was tough. But, you know, what it is, home was home. My first time there, but I loved it, man. You know. It's a shame because Nigeria, we should be a superpower. We have resources. We've got good government. Forget China. Forget Nigeria is super. Forget China. We're a good government. Nigeria is superpower, but you know, you got knuckleheads in charge. You know.
Hey, who do you like in this upcoming election in Nigeria? I like Peter Obi.
You don't want. I mean, look. I don't know who. Well, levels like a vision and integrity. You know, that's what I'm not getting trouble. We want people with vision and integrity. People that will take the land back and empower the people. That's what we want. Peter, if we can do the job, fantastic. Just get those who are here with integrity and backbone. That's what we need. You know, because Nigeria is embarrassment. We got, you know, been independent in 1960 now, self-independence. 1960, you know, 62 years. You know, where's that car industry? Well, where's that space program? You know, what's going on? Where's that? You know, where are industries that you drop people in?
Right. You know? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you guys want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call and add to the conversation. Just click on the link. The link is in the chat room. So,
well, Mr. Jughead, if you ever decide to get on one of them planes and come over here to Tampa, you have a place to stay with me. And but here's the thing, man. I can take you up there to Bama, my home state. You know, show you good eating, good living, and more important, winning, man. I mean, just like the state's like a spa. You know, you just a lot of woods around there. Oh, hold on a minute, a lot of woods. You know, you really get you thinking about it.
In Florida.
You know, in the cold from where I come from, and many of us country folks can share this. Number one thing they want to know is who your people. So you tell them, you know, I'm up here with Fitzgerald, you know, stuff like that, Stevens and the Stanfords and the Kellys and the Griffins. Okay, cool, you good. You know, so that's how we treat you like we're knowing y'all alive. And that's the fact. So you ever decide you want to get away from that cold over there in England, you know, and whatever, you know, as far as that, you know, hey man, you know, Spain is horizon, you know, you got a place for me.
Yes, sir. But I'm saying to you as well, because I'm building property. We know Ephraim. I'm in property in Nigeria. I'm used to. I mean, when I've got a number of Fitzgerald and links. When we link up because off camera, because we got to make links because when I'm going to go to Nigeria this December. I've been property. We've got two properties. One Sepulchre and burn two in Ephraim. Should we finish next year? You guys come sit. You got some place to stay also because you know. I mean, because even though down south Nigeria, you know, at least you have more contacts. We got.
Great, man. Great. It's good to make connections. You know, that's one thing I love about this forum and getting on my channel, getting on this channel, and you know, you make relationships all over the world without leaving. But it's good to to look a man eye to eye and shake his hand, face to face. You know, but you know, you can set up some of that, man.
The person, because I promise you that for sure, I'm genuine. I'm the genuine. You know, we will know each other soon. We'll meet up face to face soon. Trust me, because we've got to get this. Brother, I don't scare you to guys, but if we don't have Africa built by 2050, 2045, we're done because we're trying to go back in Africa about acres by every second. When again in the future, we'll be tenants in our own land. If we become tenants in our own land, we're done. But luckily, we've got 2-3 decades left.
Well, I will say when you come over there, tell the family you're from Africa instead of England. We'll want to know about that more.
I always do. Yeah, I always do. Yeah.
we'll you know, the family's highly interested in Africa, although very few of us have been over there. But really the thing about us on a serious note, man, we just judge a man by his character, how he is, and you know how you feel about us, how we feel about him. But you will be made to feel at home there. That's the
Thank you.
As anyone, you know, who I'm great to around my people. That's the way we are. You know, and regardless of where you're from, or you know what color your skin shines and stuff like that, we're just interested in people more than so we are the culture.
Yeah, I've been in America once. I've been to San Diego. About 2003. I've been to America once. I can't say I know America, but the people there were fine, black, white, and the Hispanics. They were fantastic. You know, and I know I've been since, but I've been busy. But I'll come to America again because America is so different. You know, you can't say I know America. It's all different from whether it's Chicago, the East Coast, and the Carolinas. It's all different. So it's all, you know. So yeah, America's. I'll come. I'll come, America. Trust me. Coming to America.
Well, we appreciate you contributing. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, let me put some on mute so that everyone come in.
Al, go ahead, Al. Unmute yourself, Al.
Yes. Good evening, brothers. Yes, Dynasty, and everyone. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. My bad. Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good evening, Mr. Al.
Perfect. Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Peter Obi, you know, because I'm actually following a channel called Niger Watch in Nigeria. You know, we actually do a lot of work online, basically trying to get people together, all the young Nigerians. You know, so yeah, like the obedient movement or whatever you call it. Yeah, this is like trying to make it less. You know, it's more to do with the young ones, yeah. Instead of having to look at tribalism or regional politics and so on, just to get the young ones to get together, you know, from the north and the south. You know, I'm actually personally, I've got so many people involved in the movement as well since it started. So you should actually promote that. I really appreciate that, definitely.
Yeah, no problem, no worries.
Yeah, the obedient movement, definitely. You know, that's what really got me in there, to be honest. Yeah.
As are you Are you in the UK too?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. I live in Bristol.
Bristol. Okay. I gotta come to the UK. I need to come to Paris. I gotta come to the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to come. You need to give me a shout. I'm going to Freetown as well. End of the year, December.
Okay, I'll be there in November.
Yeah, November. Okay, that'll be great. There's so many things in Sierra Leone, in Freetown, and all the way to Connaught District, Kabbalah District, like different kind of projects. I want to get involved in, and also it'll be great. You know what I mean? And also, just to bear one thing in mind, Dynasty, regardless of the political situation in Sierra Leone, whether it's going to be SLPP or APC, yeah, I got you. In the future, we have to link up. The work that you're doing that have to continue in Sierra Leone. Definitely, you're very needed in that country, brother. 100%.
Hey, so I know it's kind of off topic. So the upcoming election in June, it's some big elections in Africa coming up. You got Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone. Do you think BO has a shot at winning again, or?
Yes, I think he will win it. The only reason why I'm saying that because the way the system is going in because the laws that he have recently passed, it's difficult for APC to come and kick him out. It's difficult. Yeah, I think he's gonna win it again, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
Listen, links in the chat room, guys. If you want to call in, click on the link. If not, we'll go ahead and start closing out. But again, link is in the chat room. So we'll take a couple more callers and then we'll go ahead and close it out. Brother Fitzgerald Stevens, I'm gonna be nice. No, listen. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Hey, I appreciate it, Amir. Yes, I'm a sore loser.
Yeah. We got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's up, Fitzgerald? What's up, Juggerhead?
How you doing there, brother?
I'm doing good, man. BAIO in the house. Okay. Yeah, like I said, the whole thing is, like I said, with infrastructure, right? Building a global infrastructure has to be accountability. Now, I asked a question, right? We're living under the white man's and the Asian man now infrastructure, right? The ships, everything that's important in the world, right? You can't be shucking and jiving. I don't understand this thing. When I was growing up, right, Fitzgerald tested this, right? Back in the days, we had some thorough ass black people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your ministry, your church, and everything, they told you to be on time. All this stuff like this, basic stuff that will sustain you, whether you're rich, poor, everything, ethics.
Let me put a smile on your face. You remember the church mothers? You remember the look they could give you and freeze your whole?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Your whole blood system just by look.
Just by look, you know what I'm saying?
You remember the fathers, man, when he would walk in the room, you moved like he was in a Marine boot camp at 8 years old.
Right. You spoke when spoken to, and all the stuff like this. That's what I grew up in. I grew up around strong black males and black females. Well, that's what structured me, right? But somehow we had this thing. We didn't know what we had, right, in our own community. White people used to come to our community for balance. People don't realize that, right? Their community was always, the kids don't listen to their parents. Kids are rebellious. They came, looked at our kids like the kids stayed in line, respected adults and stuff like that. They looked at us, like we were the ones. So, but the story is that black people these are the black people that's doing this in Black America that got the education around whites and everything, right? They think the white man's way is better and everything. And now all hell's breaking out. Like, look at this woman right now who was twerking, a state representative in the state of Rhode Island. She has a big ass up there twerking, and talking about, we're gonna have, somebody got their replay on. So the bottom line is this: there is no accountability, right? Because we're scared to say something about it. We're scared to say, Brittany Reiner, you made your own bed, you lay in it. You know what I'm saying? We're scared to say now people, I should have known. There's people now trying to shame black men And why is that the black men are uproar about Brittany Rayner? I don't give a rat's ass about Brittany Rayner. I hope it turns out well, but she made her bed, you know? She went this anti-male stuff and all stuff like that. So now she's over there in a country where she knew it was illegal. She did it anyway. Now we're supposed to stop what we're doing. We're supposed to clear up our desks. Now it's bum rush Russia to get the Brittany Rayner. This is nonsense. It's like the more screwed up you are, the more black people we're programmed to support. We don't know anything about the situation over. I don't know. So the bottom line is we have all these things that could be have our focus, but what are we focused on? Mediocrity. Why? Because we know the white man is going to solve all our problems. We know we're going to kick the can out to the white man. We don't know all the stuff that's going on in the world. Where's the black man at the seat of the table on world affairs? You know, are we on this planet? Does the planet belong to us too? Why is it the Asian man and the white man making all the decisions? This is what I was talking about the other night. You know, why are they cast and making all the decisions over my life? Why are you have thing? Now, if you say I'm not smart enough, that's fine. That's fair. But you tell me nobody in my race can basically articulate for me, you know, without being a mouthpiece for you. We got to share our best and brightest, and our best and brightest got to be at your feet. And this is what's going on. So there's no accountability for the black. The average black elected official, whatever, they don't give a damn about black people. All they know is you're proud that somebody that looks like you is up there, and you don't care what they do, what they stand for. And it's hard. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hard. It's hard to go against a black, even Maxine Waters. Why? Because she's black and she's a woman. She don't do a damn thing for us. She won't do anything for us, and we won't do anything about it. Because why? Because we don't own our own existence. That's why the Pan-African movement is so vital. Once we have a stake, once we pull this off in Africa and we start being able to influence what goes on in Africa, and we start building infrastructure, building land, building business and everything, then they're gonna friggin' respect us. Then the pendulum is gonna swing. Long as everything that we get and everything we care about is controlled and given to us by them, we're always gonna have a sense of accountability because there's no consequences. That's all I want to say.
All right, cool, perfect. Mafo Rose, go ahead and unmute yourself, but you got to stop the playback. Mafo Rose, unmute yourself. Hold on. Okay, all right, let me just remove him. All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Fitzgerald.
Hey man, I was just thinking about my friends Scent Police and Pan Africanism Brandy. You know, like I said, on this point, I think they get across much clearer than I can. No, and so I would just love to hear from them. But you guys out there listening, I, Fitzgerald Steve, are making requests for you to come on this train.
I love Scent Police, man. I love Scent Police. He's so spicy, man. I love that guy, man. Scent Police. He's like, you know, but yeah, let's get to echo what Carla said.
But in the meantime, while we're waiting for Undynast, we can't and thank you, Mr. Genesis, for your viewpoint, as well as Mr. Jughead for yours. We can't negate that responsibility anymore. We can't just throw it off on everyone that we're in the plight that we're in right now. Why, as a unit, we don't seem to be able to cooperate with. We don't seem that we're not able to cooperate. Why the unwillingness to cooperate for the collective our good? Man, that's the $1 billion question. I wish it wasn't so, but wish it doesn't make it so, and I have to deal with facts. But I do stand by that we have to stop making choices. It first starts with the individuals that's going to continue to keep grinding us to powder and continue to keep making us being a laughing stock, our community a laughing stock. Now, let's switch over. Let's switch gears and talk about this representative, okay? And let me tell you why that's so disgusting, why that's so dangerous, so destructive to our image, especially young ladies and young women and image, because you have supposedly a highly educated, articulate person. You don't get to be a representative in government without being, although sometimes they don't act like it, they educate at all. But the saying to you is an attractive plus size woman, and but whether in given this God given platform she's given, and I'm quite sure many of her constituents, both white and black, voted for her. And what did she do? She get out there and do one of the most degrading things, because remember, the higher your position, the more degrading the behavior. Okay, because people think you should know better. Twerking upside down to someone touched it, asked for votes. She would never be taken seriously again. She would never. She would be looked at as laughing stock. She would be talked about to her in her face and behind closed walls. All the good that she has done is going to be erased, and this is what's going to be constant played. Meanwhile, we have a young lady get ready, young black lady, or any other race. Let me just say that aspiring to say, I got to do that for attention. I got to degrade myself for attention, and degradation upon degradation leads nothing more to degradation. Meanwhile, some men, talking. This is what I be talking about the black woman now. The H's and the O's, that's what they do. Not all of them do that. Not all men that say that. But why put a target on you? Why just destroy this image of what you have done? Now, I don't agree with the political. A lot of political views of the Obama administration, but I can tell you this: I respect it, because you know what, the way that man and his wife carried themselves publicly as private citizens, as the way that the dignity they exemplify, they stick to script. I mean, could you see Michelle out there twerking shirtless? I mean, now think about it, and because so many people are looking there, and so this type of behavior has stopped, and this lets you know how degradation and how serious it has become, even when high level representatives are acting like this. That gives no wonder, and there's no the outcry should have been more so for the women, but the silence speaks volumes. The silence speaks volumes on that. And at the men, we sit around there, man, get your happy ass on, stand on your feet, pull down your dress. This matriarchal society right there. Oh, you're bashing the women. You're bashing this. You're just intimidated by a strong black woman. Oh boy.
But Fitzgerald, you got a lot of men supporting this shit. Excuse my language. You're supporting this stuff.
Okay. Not the men on this
thing.
Not the men I'm with. Not the men like that. Dynast, carrying the anatomy of a male does not make you a man.
Right.
Men are the male species of conviction, protection, provision, stability, standards, order, discipline. That's what men are. That's what men are. And it's not given over to a particular type of race. It's a God-given thing that he imparted into the man to lead, to discipline, to provide, to instruct, to protect. These are things that are for a man, to walk in dignity, to not shame, and not allow yourself to be shamed. Those are the traits of a man. No, that's the traits of the man. If we're the spear, all this stuff happens for us. I can't control my woman. Yes, you're right. You would never be able to control another human being apart from abuse or slavery or some type of threat. But if you got a human being who you think you got to control to keep into good working order and keep in decent order, you got the wrong damn one. 7 billion people around the world, the majority of them females, and you crying about a food. You crying about a food. You sitting up there, man. She had that. Excuse my language here. let me talk in street terms people can understand here. You know, she had a fat ass though. You know, she's sitting up there twerking upside down, legs spread like a beanpole. You know, man, I had to just look at that. Don't take consideration. Maybe there's some kid in the room with you, or you know, get this impression, or maybe there's some young girl, you know, listening to you. You're signaling in, and that's all right. I mean, I like to know how many men, how many women just got up and say, switch that video off. We don't allow that trash. That's not a woman. Let me tell you what a woman. Or a man say, you see your mother over there? You see your mother? That's a woman of dignity. That's what you celebrate. Son, you see your mom right there? That's a woman.
Well, Fitzgerald, I gotta stop you. A lot of the moms now are now on Instagram and OnlyFans and twerking on YouTube now. A lot of the moms doing it now. Let me
say this, finance. Let me go ahead and say this. You know, and this instantly put a stop to your logic. Just because you have the anatomy of a woman, or the anatomy of a female, does not make you a woman. Oh, Fitzgerald, that's double talk. Does not make you a good woman. It's the difference between good woman and whorish women. Whorish acting women. Much a difference. I personally, you know, I grew up under strong, good, wholesome women. My mother, my grandmother, aunts. They were women of grace, women of dignity. I mean, you know, people I absolutely loved, admired, and more importantly, respected. Now that age is going off. Now mom's gone. A couple of my aunts, you know, they're gone. No, so that generation is phasing out. But there was a time, man, no, that's not the way you do it. And there was also a time they would say, hey, you know, you're going to act the fool. You do it behind closed doors, not out publicly. No, so I'm a little torn, man. I'm a little torn. Maybe it's because I come from a different generation. Maybe because, you know, I know what it was. I was exposed back to that era, and I'm living in this era right now, and I see such the vastness. You know, I see these no-fault divorces, and I see these side dudes and side guys, and you know, and children by this partner spread all over, and I see all this thing. I see an increase in the police brutality. I see wicked courts along with wicked judges. Some I see the gentrifications of the neighborhood. I see so much right now. Maybe it's not had an effect upon me. It is, but I just know, and I just believe that somehow this can be turned back around. You know, it just can be turned back around. We are still the same people. I mean, surely some of the same DNA great men and great women still run within our blood. It still runs within us. You know,
Brother
and that's
Stephen,
yeah.
Do you know what I find more disturbing? It's basically in the UK where we live. Jagger probably know about the when we had this BLM movement in the UK after the death of George Floyd, right? And in the UK Parliament, obviously we had a black female Conservative MP. I think she got a Ghanaian ancestry, right? And when all the white people were trying to do the right thing for black people over here, so we can pass the right laws and, you know, trying to get people to be educated about black history and so on, she was one of the first person that was actually campaigning so hard in the Parliament to make sure that doesn't happen. Maybe Brother Jagger can actually help me with that, right? And I thought, oh my word, I've actually seen that. You know, is that actually possible in this day and age that we live in? Our own black sister is happy to sit down and actually sell us out and actually refuse, you know, to do the right thing for our own people. I think she is married to a white man. Jagger, am I right there, or?
Her name is Kemi.
What's her name again? I just realized you from the UK, and you know, but I didn't realize that. I know you and Mr. Jughead, so I'm going to point this question to both of y'all, and yes. And it's really a statement, and I'm definitely putting it out there to the audience. Okay, all this stuff that we have been talking about, all this type of behavior and all this stuff that we know, each of us, all of us can agree. that it is destructive to us as a people. But after I see and yet in addition to what I see, okay, whether it's male or female, when people get ready, when they're ready to settle down after they had their hot girl summers, sowing your wild oats, when they get ready to settle down, they seem to want the cats, the old-fashioned cats, the good man type cats, like I am. Maybe a little boring because I don't go out a lot at night. I can dance, but I don't really go to nightclubs as far as that man. I'd much rather be talking business or go see a clean comedy show. After I'm that cat. I'm going to come home to you. I ain't going to cheat on you. If I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be protected. Yeah, I'm going to have standards and discipline, but hell, I got a lot of that solved before you even hook up with me. And so when it's all said and done, and after you leave cats like us, and sometimes, we're the same cats we were in our 20s and stuff, even though up in age. Now, when after you've been ran through, after a young man, destroyed your life, and you're crying, and you got all these setups, and you say, how hard she making on you, even though you pulled it. You want to come back and get the wholesome good men, good women, like there are some of us. There are many of us out there. Why is that? It seems that you recognize that off the get-go, but I know, we're too boring. We're not fun enough. We don't like to rock it in the club and, get out there and swing the street. We don't like to do that. We do love making money. We do love coming home to stability. We do like taking occasional trips. We are financially responsible and successful. You will have a house. The children will have a good place to call their own. You will have retirements. You will live well. But we're too boring in the beginning. Now after you've done thrown away your best years dealing with all these fools, making all these foolish decisions with your body, your mind, now all of a sudden you want to come back to us. But we don't want you no more. We don't want you. We are seeing the game you play, and we don't believe in your reformness. We don't believe in your born again virginity. We done seen all these things, and so wouldn't it behoove you to suppress those urges or stop that, or that's how they go down that the way to build to be with a man and a woman that will really love you, that will really respect you, that will help build with you, that'll be there first for your children, that you can have family gatherings and first cousins get along together, and we can build a society of strong family. You can feel dignified by saying that's my husband or that's my wife. This is my family where we can accomplish things like this. I admire the immigrants. One thing I do admire about your African immigrants, and Nigeria seems to be leading the tip of the spear. The way you are able to keep your culture when you come into this land. Now, this doesn't go for everyone. The way you are producing doctors and lawyers and educators and high scholastic achievements, but the way you are keeping that family together, even in this pool of my country and the pool of Europe and England and the pool of Canada, but you come over there, you're disciplined. The father still is revered there. The mother still is revered there. The children still honor their parents. They have an atmosphere of wholeness. They dare not try to bring shame on a family name. The Nigerian community or the immigrant community will ostracize someone who does. It's almost like we in America, but America ain't in us. Okay, understand that. Don't forget where you are. Don't forget where you come from. God, I admire that. But they seem to understand that. We can learn so much if the immigrants were feel fine about immigrating with us or integrated with us. And for some of you guys I'm talking to, not all African Americans are like everybody else you see on World Star. We all don't do that. It's tens of thousands of millions of us. I say we don't do that. But our voice is being drowned out by those who do. Our voice is being drowned out by those who do. And so Mr. Al and Mr. Jughead, not to put words in your mouth, man, but did I speak true? Am I off base? Am I just so out of touch being 57 years old? My time is past. Because right now I made up my mind with the last relationship I came out of. I am not. Hell, I'll be alone before I have anything to disturb my peace, anything bringing me down anymore. And I'm perfectly capable of walking that way alone. Don't want to be that. But next chick I pick, and next one I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. I want to get someone who I know emphatically builds what wants to build with me.
Mr.
And if
Stevens.
I can go to the continent, she dang sure more likely will not hit American soil. No, you know what's you guys' take on this?
I reckon that's mainly to do with the parenthood as well, because like for example me, my mom and dad, obviously I was born in a household where, you know, my mom was there, my dad was there, you know they was together all the way until my dad passed away. So it's like that sort of foundation that's already there, and I think that's what is lacking, because most of my friends I grew up with in the UK, like in Bristol for example, most of them they was raised by single moms. So, you know, even though I hang around with them, and, you know, I grew up with them and do a lot of things with them, I can tell our mentality is not the same. You know, so like for example, I got my family, you know, I got my, you know, my woman and my child, you know, we still live together, and I go to work, you know, I'm trying to provide for my family. But a lot of my friends, it's totally opposite. And when I look at it, it's to do with, you know, the background, you know, like basically you know, their dad never was there, so they kind of follow that footstep, which is sad. I don't know, and I think that's what needs to change in a lot of the cultures, a lot of our Black family cultures. And I do not see myself any different to Black British or African Americans, because, for example, when things happening in terms of the Black movement, I'm always there. Like for example, when I don't know if you heard about the Colston statue that was brought down in Bristol, right? When George Floyd got killed, me and my friends, yeah, they were all born here, but their family from the Caribbean. I was with them because I understand the pain, you know, of slavery and the history of our family, and, you know, being from Sierra Leone, Liberia, that part of the world, you know, obviously I know the history very well compared to a lot of other Africans. So that enabled me to actually, you know, relate with African Americans and Caribbeans more than other Africans, for example. And I think that's where I noticed Nigerians, not all Nigerians, but most Nigerians, because I hear a lot of people talk about Nigerians are not Pan-African enough. And I can see that because they're not from, they haven't lived in, they haven't had, basically, if you come from Sierra Leone or Liberia, you will understand exactly where African Americans or Caribbean coming from, because those countries have that sort of historical link, right? So, in terms of coming back to the family being stable as a Black person and having to have that foundation, I think it all goes back to the household, you know, where there's no dad, it's only single mom. They've been raised by single moms, and that really need to change.
Sir,
Yeah,
would you agree? I'm sorry. Please continue. Please go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Well, we'll ask a question and we'll pass it to G-Set and we'll close out. But go ahead, Fitzgerald. Then we'll pass it to G-Set after you.
Mr. Alau, would you agree that with my viewpoint that that the strong families, strong particularly Black families, which this is a African-centric channel, is the key to rectifying all this?
Yes, I mean, all the channels are needed. All the channels are needed. You know, we can't just point finger on just one, because that will not be enough. I mean, we're way back to actually just rely on one aspect of it. You know?
No, I use the word families, plural, not family.
Families.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is needed.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, brother Allah, just to clarify your point about the MP. Her name was Kemi Balladok.
Oh, yes, Kemi.
That tried to derail our mission. Kemi Balladok, that's a traitor's name. Now, regarding Fitzgerald's question about the relationships, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that crosses all cultural bounds, brother Fitzgerald. Whether it's Africans, Caucasians, or Black people, we seem to have that problem with relationships. It's not just our people. If you look at the so-called MG MGTOW community, which I'm not, it's anti-African. Since our video channel, because men and women we belong together. That's African. That's African. That's natural. But MGTOW tends to be an anti-female channel, but they have issues too. The white males. It's not just us having it. It's the last 2-3 decades. People become more selfish, individualistic.
But Jagger, sorry to cut you off there, brother. But the white working class that in the council estate in England did that grow up in single moms. They're just as bad as some of the black kids, for example, right?
Oh,
so obviously that got to do with that, because their dads are not there, So and in fact, a lot of them are on social benefit and that, So the dad is not there. Yeah.
But it's worse. You're right. It's worse than that. I'm choosing on Fitzgerald. Okay. I remember going to 70s as a child. Black families were intact. I wasn't we weren't perfect, but in the UK, black families most of the house had a father and mother. Last few decades has changed. So that nasty. We learned from that. It's what's called assimilation. People with the worst habits. What a lot of white people have habits that we should admire. They're fighting spirit. They're very nationalistic. But those have habits that we shouldn't run from. They're degeneracy, sexual. We learn it from them. When I was growing up as a child, we listen to these nut jobs here in England. These crazy people. If you come to the UK, you'd be shocked, man. But that was an assimilation. That's not us. Now, regarding African, even though I was born in the UK, I had a Nigerian passport. My father was a strong patriarch. He told me I got 2 younger sisters. I'm the 2 eldest of 3 children. And I told him, my mother and father, you're African. Every day they drill it into our brain, every day. You're not black British, you're African. I did their job. So when for father transition in 1995, I took the body home. I didn't bury him here. No. I buried him back home. And we got plot. And my mother, she's still alive. She retired back in Nigeria 4 years ago. She's living with a pension set over there. I send her around every month. She's living like a queen. The naira sold the damage. She sent pounds over. It's a conversion. It's a lot of money. She's living like a queen over there. She's fantastic. She's fine over there. Don't worry about mom. She's fine. But regarding relationships, well, Fitzgerald, it's not just you. Trust me, it's not you personally. It's happening across the board. it's not you. Don't worry, it's not you. It's happening everywhere. I've got my queen, but I'm lucky. I've got since I've seen that Somalian. And
a lot of us African Americans, American Negro, should I say? A lot of us think like this. Man, if we can just get out of this land, it's going to be different over in Africa. We've heard great stories about black people going on in Europe, and they look like they was more celebrated there. We have this fallacy that perhaps this is only just here. The zoo just exists here. But I look at British broadcasting. I look at Al Jazeera. I see things happening over there in the UK, and then I think what we're looking for is somewhere. Can we go to somewhere where we're treated normal? Can we go somewhere where we, where it's not where black people are living civilized and harmony each other? Where is this place on earth? It has to be in Africa. Maybe it's in Panama City, Panama. I don't know, but there has to be somewhere out there that's right. There has to be somewhere that's insulated from the bizarreness of this Western system and the agendas that they push and stuff. And so that's what a lot of it is. Maybe it's like a romance novel. Maybe it's a fantasy. Maybe I've been listening too much to the song Zoom by the Commodores, which is one of my favorites. But you know what? There has to be. There has to be. Where is it?
It's not there yet.
Let's do this. Let's pass it to Ajisa. Ajisa can answer that, then we'll have you close out, Fitzgerald. Go ahead, Ajisa.
Sure.
Hey, Dennis, what's up? Shout out to the panel. Quick question, Dennis. Are you about to close it out? Because I got a question directed at Mr. Stevens. But if we don't have 2 minutes, so this was, I guess, this is directed toward Mr. Stevens and Kala Genesis before he left. You guys are Generation X, right? I'm assuming you just said you're 57. Your generation. So I guess it's safe to assume.
I don't know about the generations and stuff like that. You have to light me on.
Well, I think you're Generation X because Dennis and I would be millennials. So Generation X would be the generation before millennials. I have to ask though, did y'all not see, or when did you become aware? And this, especially for Kala, because he lived in New York like I did. When did you guys become aware that this system was weaponizing I guess everything around you against you. And I say that because you guys were talking about the woman that was the Rhode Island congresswoman, senator that was twerking, and then they had that lady in South Carolina that was on the phone on a prison telephone soliciting for drug money.
Right.
And so
saying she don't care.
Yeah, she need where my duffel bag boys at, you know? And you look at these things. Now I look at everything with a crazy eye, because I don't know about you, Donis, but when I became an adult, as soon as I became an adult, like, this system hit me, and it hit me hard, to where, you know, you started seeing where they were weaponizing the women against the men. It's to the point where, and I'm not trying to start any online thing or anything like that, but you see it now. I mean, we can see it now where it's starting to manifest, where it's starting to go to the forefront, where now the nonsense is on full frontal display. And it's like, you know, these people can, you know, hide their hand and say, well, look at, this is just how they are. You know, you started, did you not know, when did y'all start to notice that it's almost like, Mr. Stevens, the men were being held back and the women were being, I mean, you're about, I guess, Kamala Harris's age. So when she's coming out of Howard, when they're graduating and they're getting all these positions and jobs, and then you don't see, I mean, were the brothers not going to school? Were the brothers not ambitious? Were they not going after? Were they not trying to, you know, attain, you know, I guess, success the way the sisters were? Or was it just a function of, you know, or was it something you saw deliberately happening?
That's a very good question, sir. Let's don't start our relationship off with a lie. And I'm
I'm asking a question. I'm not casting aspersions.
No. That was just a form of speech that
Okay.
I use, but I'll make acquaintance with someone sometimes. I am sorry to say this, actually ashamed to say this, but that's what I mean. Don't start a relationship off with a lie. When I realized the system was truly weaponized, especially our women against our men, especially with the agendas of the matriarchal system, the Democratic Party, the gay, lesbian things.
Well, not even that. Let's not, because they weren't doing that.
Let me ask you a question. When my eyes like poof popped all the way open, you know, I was somewhere along the line of 53 years old, very, very late in life. Here's why. Because there's an adage where you know, the areas I come from. If you take a frog and you put him in a pot of cold water, okay, yeah. I'll get to my point.
A slow boil.
If you only start turning the temperature up in small increments, you know, that frog will stay in there till he boils to death. If, by other hand, you take the same pot and you put the frog in boiling water, it's going to instantly jump out. Many of my generation, we were given this in small increments, just a little bit.
But if, I have to push back, because it really is not. Because if you're trying to,
you got to let them finish it. You got to answer the question.
Go ahead.
And so it was, so we knew you don't go to Billy Joe Bob's place because, you know, they racist down there. We knew the hell you don't associate. We were separate down there just as much as them. So we knew that. We know you really, it wasn't good for black guys the date white women back in because the ramifications they would cause. We do that, but we didn't see we didn't see the shift in our education and our lack of education, our lack of African studies. We didn't see it, and then graduates, you know, graduates came into our face with the explosion of World Wide Web, and someone who sit back thinking critically and stuff, and you like, damn man, these cats are really hunting us. This system is hell bent on destroying us at a global thing, and then that's when my eyes opened. About 53 years old. Hell, man, I'm 57. I know you guys have heard that, and I'm not ashamed. But I was so dang late because I was just nulled to sleep. And many of our generation who are waking up, and we're like, and we like have a fire about us right now. because we don't have the time anymore like the youth has. So we think. You know, we don't know when God is going to call us, but we don't have that time, and so we kind of move like in passion, even somewhat anger, because we're like, damn, the okie doke has really been pulled out of it. I gotta let these people learn. I gotta reach out to the young people. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Stop. Don't be a damn fool. Don't play into the system like we did, because they are out to destroy you. And that's it, man. And you know, I'm ashamed that it took me so long to catch on to the game. Nobody discusses mine. You know, no. You know, I'm ashamed.
Well, I follow that because I mean, it's even a lot in my generation, and I got the same question for Dennis, but a little different because he was an athlete, so he was kind of like sheltered from all this until he got into corporate America. So I want to know when he realized, like, I want to know, Dennis, when you realized. But I say that because you say that it was a slow ball, but it's not really a slow ball if you're trying to knock on all these doors. If you're going for, career attainment. I hate the word career, but some type of. I mean, there's a reason why there's only one. Or we only have a few black billionaires. I mean, Robert Smith would be a Generation X, earlier Generation X. I don't know. Were guys not? Were they too busy chasing tail? Because I'll be honest with you, even in my age, I still got guys in my generation that are just waking up because they were so busy chasing after. Some of them are still like chasing after women. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're heterosexual, but at the same time. At some point, I realized, and I'm not using me, but at some point, you got to realize, like, this is weaponized against you once you interact with them. And look, I think it's just it's not Neely Fuller said, if we can't get together to do anything productive, we got to stay away from each other. And I'm not on some SYSBM or do other thing. I just say it's, maybe it would have behooved us if we didn't look at all that, or we weren't so caught up in, I mean, because if you look at one thing I noticed, like, this society gives you rope to hang yourself. They let the quote unquote women be as stubborn-headed, as hard-headed, as belligerent as they can be, which is usually a male quality. Being stubborn and persistent helps a man. But when you transfer that quality on a woman, no, they let the men, be, these Lotharios. I'm a good get as many bitches as I can. And now you guys in their late. Now the guys are getting older. They're bogged down with they got all these issues behind, going after women. So they weaponize these things. And now before you know it, you're so far behind. And now you can say, you can say, oh, it was a slow boil, but it wasn't a slow boil. I don't think it was a slow boil. It was one of those things where you had to have been looking, or when you're trying to attain certain things or go certain places, and you just realize you get all these doors slammed in your face, but you see your counterpart on the other side get right through, and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? What is this? I mean, it's like I'm hyper vigilant. They just announced the other day that the Raiders they hired the first black female president, and you scratch your head. I mean, yes, there have been male presidents of teams, but you scratch your head and you're like, what is so special about this person that that she's attaining this? That a brother, can't do. I mean, you look at her track record; it's really nothing. She went to law school. Anybody can go to law school. Brother, I know a lot of brothers that went to law school, but you see these things now, and you're like, okay, this is intentional. They're purposely doing it. But I do want to know, Dennis, when did you talk about in your earlier videos how in corporate America, when did you start? Did you ever see it or what?
I started noticing it during Obama's second term.
So 2016. Oh no, 2012 to 2016.
About 2012 when I started to notice it, and then really 2016 during the Trump-Hillary Clinton election.
That they were putting sisters, they were really putting sisters ahead of, they were holding the brothers back.
Well, not even that. It's just, when you look at Hillary Clinton's record, so, the argument is, well, men are brutal and women aren't. But then you see all these women getting behind Hillary Clinton, who was as brutal as they come. But then you have sisters like here in Georgia. What's the sister's name? Oh man, what's the sister's name here in Georgia that they wouldn't get behind?
Stacey Abrams?
No, hell no. Excuse my language. No, definitely no.
In Georgia.
She's in Georgia. She just retired. Great, was excellent, and they wouldn't get behind her.
McKinney? Cynthia McKinney?
Cynthia McKinney.
Okay.
Cynthia McKinney. And I was like, the way they were just backing Hillary Clinton and the excuses they were making for, I was just like, okay, I see what's going on. But really, it started in Obama's second term. And then it carried through, it continued over.
During, even when you're in corporate America, and then the HR person would always be a sister, the gatekeeper into these positions.
I'll be honest. I didn't. So the sisters who were HR when I was in corporate America,
and that's just an example, but that's right. Well, they usually get those positions, but I really didn't have any problem with it. The biggest problem I had when I was in corporate America was my first manager, like my first few managers. Like, they gave me the most hell for no reason. And then when a new manager came in, he was awesome. Named Nathan Collins. He was great. I was ready to get the hell up out of Cintas. Then Nathan came in, and he was awesome. Well,
it was more. Go ahead.
A lot of guys will tell you, because I don't want to use my anecdote because then it'll be like it's personal, but I noticed they were the buffer, meaning that anytime, he couldn't come, he couldn't come directly at you, so he would always send a black woman there. And look, it is what it is, because now we're seeing everything come to pass. Now everything's out of whack. The so-called gains that they made, now you see that it's really not gains. I guarantee you look at this senator. Without campaign, this lady was asking for. She's a single mother of 5 kids, but somehow she was. And I'm not to say, they'll be like, oh, what's wrong with her being a single mother and running for Congress? But you got to ask yourself, what kind of person is this? These values. There was a lady in Atlanta running for mayor, and she was a felon. She had all kinds of shit on her record, jacket held full of crazy, But I don't know. You're seeing them being pushed out here like that. I missed the stream yesterday about that movie trailer, but you see these things, and then you kind of wonder why it is. I don't know. Like I said, I would have loved to hear Kala's opinion, because it's like, once you're aware of it, what do you do? Are you?
Just think about it. So they're attacking Herschel Walker, right? Because he's not the most articulate. I admit that. But you got this twerking senator, and you really have no one's really saying nothing about it.
Okay, so you have but see, look at the type of, and you know what? I will say this, because maybe this is just not an avenue for us in politics, because you have Walker, which is he's an idiot, probably because he went to Georgia. No, I'm joking, but
there we go.
You might get a point
took a little too on that way to the Heisman. He took a little too many hits to the head. No, I'm joking. Now, you got Walker, but then you got Warnock. He's not. Both these guys will lay down. And maybe like it was, maybe it's like Claude Anderson said, maybe. We got there are levels to this shit. I think 5 levels, and maybe politics, we shouldn't be at that level yet. But the fact that black brothers were just not. Because once I became aware of it, I've been like I said, I mean, I got this wake up call because that's when I found out I was black, to be honest with you. But once I realized this and I got that wake up call, this was, I mean, I was in. I've become hyper vigilant against it. It's almost to the point where I go 10 times as hard. But I just don't think dudes have woke up. By the time they wake up, it's too late. They're waist deep in quicksand. You know, because like I said, everything they like, everything you do is weaponized against you. You know, just even your interaction with them.
I think men have woken up. It's just they're so afraid that, you know, I'll give you a prime example. This last election, 2020. Like I literally heard black men say, well, I was gonna vote for Trump, but my grandma and my auntie and my sister and my girlfriend, they ain't gonna let me come to
well, here's the thing.
They ain't gonna let me, I mean, so we just got some soft ass men.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. But here's the thing.
Geez, I've never heard any other race of men say that. Like literally, I would talk to black men. Well, I got to do it for the women, the community, because the women said that they needed, the Democrats give them services, and I got to do it for the community, for the women, because the women said it, and I got to do it.
I'll be honest with you. I can't take.
My grandma told me, my mama said I can't come to Christmas dinner if I didn't vote for Biden. That's what we're dealing with.
I'm gonna say this because I've been in this situation. Well, I've never been in this, but what I'm saying is, and if any dude is hearing me on the panel, dude, if you depend on your woman, that is the weakest. Like you're better off being homeless and just building from scratch and building on your own. Then even like when people say build, I'm not trying to be divisive, but she is weaponized against us. And the coldest part is she don't even know it. She doesn't even know. She just programmed. It's like it's a battery in her back, and it's not hatred toward them because I don't. I mean, but when you see it, when you see everything she does, it's like, and so to the idea that you're gonna be dependent on her for your daily bread is like it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
These aren't the wives, and I mean, in some cases, yeah, it was the wife or the girlfriend, but the majority of the time it was the mamas and the grandmas. They was like,
even if it's the mother and your grandmother, you will never be a man until you break away from this. Until you break away from it, you will get more respect if you break away, build on your own, then come back, and now you can call hands because they have to respect that. I'm just saying it's really because I think Generation X kind of kicked this off, because I'm like, did y'all not see these things coming? It's I don't know. I just don't think they put up a valiant fight against it. And I'm not talking about marching in the streets or anything like that. But once you become aware of it, like you can't play into. Now you know where the traps are. Now what where you can see the tripwire. But I think most dudes only wake up after they've set off the tripwire. After they've blown the legs off.
Ejissa, is that your name, bro? Is that your name, Ejissa? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Well, I can ask that if I may. You're making good points there, but you have to remember this, Ejissa. I mean, we what I've noticed the last few decades, we've become matriarchal, I think, West here in UK and America, which is bad. I'll tell you why, because I've noticed that prisons. When I call African prisons the father of prisons, I get pushback. That speaks to the that's we have an inbred, not all of us, but that's inherent disrespect for male authority. Because men lead nations, not women. Men lead nations. So I think what's happened the last few decades, there's been an insidious influence. Like it was black woman is God, black woman is queen. No, you're not God. Black women are not God. Black women are our partners. They're not gods. What's happened is the last few decades, there's been an insidious infusion of black woman worship. And that's a problem because men who worship women will not build anything. All sex nations are patriarchal. All nations are empires are patriarchal. Qatar, Dubai, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, United States. They're built by men. That's what I call the founding fathers. Not founding mothers, founding fathers. Not founding bitches, founding fathers. Not founding hoes, founding fathers. men build nations. So until black men get that mentality back, it won't change, Elisha, because
I mean,
we become, too fair and female. We should love our women, but we don't fear anyone. We're lying. We don't fear anyone. They should fear them. They'll watch fear us, the black man. We're the lions of the world.
I mean, I don't even get into that, and I understand what you're saying, Mr. Jughead. I understand what you're saying, but to me, the lion doesn't have to announce that he's the lion. And when guys get into this rhetoric, "Oh, I'm an alpha," or "She should let me lead," or "Be submissive," it's almost like, okay, to me, that just goes without saying. Like, look, because it's funny.
Making a good point though.
Yeah,
my point is this though. The point is, Elijah, majority of men don't think that way. That's what I think that way. You do. Majority of us don't. That's the problem. You're saying like that's my point, Elijah. Majority of us don't think that way. We should, but we don't. Hence why we're in a mess. We're not building. We're not thinking like men. Men build, men protect, as Fitzgerald said. Most of us aren't doing that collectively. That's the problem. You see, that's the problem, Elijah. Most of us abrogated our responsibility as men, so we will allow people to come to our lands, gun down our children, and how could that devil, Darren Wilson, gun down Mike Brown and brought out get alive? That means there are no men there. How can that devil strangle my brother, Derek Garner, in broad daylight? A black man is standing around watching. What the hell is that?
Exactly.
Men won't tolerate that. So that's my point, Elijah. As soon as I acting like men again, building and protecting, without apology, this won't change. The European went to Australia, Tasmania, Fitzgerald had without apology. He didn't care. He said, "I'm taking this as mine." He didn't apologize. He didn't no conscience. Every day they do Thanksgiving, where they celebrate massacring 100 million of the Americans are taking their land. They don't apologize for that. That's why we should do the same. No, we're civilized, but until we have that mindset, we will take Africa back, build it up for our benefit, without apology, things aren't going to change. Or where we are now, whether in America, UK, we've got to start where we are first. It can't be unrealistic. But when we start where we are, whether it's in Alabama, Florida, New York, London, UK, Bristol, we start where we are first. Then the down line, 10, 50 years down the line, we build up, meet down the line, and build as a collective. But we start where we are first. But that takes a mindset, of building. That's what men do. The Arab man's done that. Look at Dubai, look at Qatar. Qatar was independent from UK 1971. Okay? Look at Qatar now. Look at the Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. They were desert 3 decades ago. Look at them now. The men are building.
They're slowly trying to introduce. Look, man, I have nothing. I'm not for this idea, because being a leader, you have to. If anything, you're a servant first when you're a leader. But I'm not for this idea of holding any particular person back. But you're now seeing where they're trying to push female empowerment, even in Africa now. You see it in Nigeria, but it will never work, because there has to be social infrastructure to buttress this false.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult in Nigeria. I mean,
you're never going to have it. I mean, women can say, because they can say all that. You want to shut it down, take her out to eat, and see what happens. It's not going to work. But you can see how. I mean,
Liza, I must admit, I must tell you one thing though. You see, Liberia. If it wasn't for the women that came together after the war, Liberia would still be a mess today. Yeah, all the men were killed, run away from the country. Yeah, be dispersed all over the world. And it's the women that came together that started building Liberia again.
What does that say about the men?
Well, good question, but
the men were too busy murdering each other.
Thank you very much.
Honestly.
No, but that's all I wanted to. I would have loved Carla's input, but that's all I wanted to say, because we talk about these things and we talk about accountability, but it's like, how did we get to this point? I mean, it's to the point now that they're straight up making fools out of themselves, and now this is the greatest society can look back and hide their hand and like, we had nothing to do with this, and they're still. I mean, they're still. I mean, the fact that this is the type of person that you can get into an institution like Brown. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to take anything away from her or what she achieved, but you know, we literally come from the same womb. We come from the same families. Like, how is it that you know she can attain all this, but her own brother, we don't you don't hear about the male counterpart as if we're just so deficient. But like I said, when it becomes obvious, when you see that, okay, they're pushing, they're leading us one way or intentionally holding you back while pushing them forward. I mean, they're not even pushing them forward that much because they're not. I mean, whatever gains they've had, they really haven't done anything with it. It hasn't empowered them. If anything, it's entrapped them more. It's enslaved them. They've dug a bigger hole for themselves. But on the same end, brothers have too. So I don't know. That's my take on the whole thing.
All right, for sure. Hey guys, we're gonna close out. So guys, make sure you subscribe to Fitzgerald page, Find Ways to Win. Again, subscribe to Find Ways to Win. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Amir, search for Huru. Peace.
Thank you, family. Blessings.